What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the much anticipated 2016 rod and reel arsenal. I know a lot of you guys are interested in this video, and so I try to put one out every spring to let you guys know what I'm going to be using in this upcoming season to catch the fish. So you know what you're going to see is all my main setups and combos. Now, a lot of these rods and reels I do have like multiples of. For example, like the Powell Endurance, I do have like several duplicate combos. So I'm not going to go ahead and show, you know, multiple duplicates just in the aspect of time. I don't want this video to drag on forever. But also stay tuned for part 2, which will be coming up either at the end of this week or next week, which will be my tackle. So thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, everyone, so starting off, we're going to start off right down here and work our way to the last rod. This is a Powell Endurance, and this is a 705 CB glass composite. Now, I bought this rod originally for crankbaits, but it's a little stiff, honestly, for crankbaits. Because it is a medium heavy, and so I just ended up switching this over, and I realized that this makes a fantastic chatterbait and spinnerbait rod. This is an awesome chatterbait rod though, love it for it. And I got that paired with a Abby Garcia Revo winch, and I throw 15-pound fluorocarbon on that probably 80% of the time. Alrighty guys, so next one, basically a lot that has changed from this year's arsenal to last year's arsenal is I still have a lot of the same reels, as you can tell, but the big difference is I'm using a lot more, basically my two main brands is Falcon rods and Powell. Now I do have a couple miscellaneous, but that's the main difference. I switched a lot of rods to Falcon. Next up is a 7-foot, this is a 7-foot medium, moderate action Falcon Buku spinning rod. This is the best spinning rod that I have personally used. You know, I haven't used any like, you know, $200, $300 plus rods for spinning rods. But as far as all the rods that I've used for spinning, this has by far been my favorite. I really love that it has a moderate action. I feel like I can, you know, keep a good hookup ratio on shaky heads and drop shots. And right now I got a shad rep on there. Got that paired with the Shimano Stratic 2500, 10-pound braid. Awesome setup. I actually have 2 of these setups, but I'm just going to show the one like I said. Next up is my punching setup. I would like to upgrade this to, you know, maybe probably a better rod here soon. This isn't the most ideal rod, but this is a 7.5-foot heavy action older Johnny Morris Carbon Light. Awesome rod, just for punching. It might be a little bit too short and a little light to be ideal for me. Got that paired up with a this is a Pflueger Supreme XT, and this is a 7-1-1, and that has 65-pound Power Pro braid on it. Next up, this is a shorter spinning rod. This is what I use a lot of times when I go to ponds, when I creek fish, when I'm skipping docks and stuff like that. This is a Shimano Symmetry, 10-pound braid on there again. This is a 2500. And this is a Falcon 6.6 medium action. So the same thing as this rod, except this is a 6.6. All right, next up is the Revo MGX. This is a 7-1-1, and I got this on a Powell Endurance 723. It's a 7.2 medium heavy. And I have a lot. I probably have 5 of these 723s in the Powells. They don't make the Endurance anymore, which is really a bummer. But I love these rods. Probably my favorite rods that I own. And I got that paired, like I said, with a Revo. And I use 17-pound fluoro on that. This is typically, you know, my jig, or it's just a good, really awesome utility rod, but I normally use it for like jigs and Texas rigs and stuff like that. Okay, next up is, you know, just a cheaper, less expensive frog setup. This is a old Bass Pro Shop Pro Qualifier 7-1-1, and this thing has been beat up, as you can tell, but it's still getting the job done. I got that pair with 65-pound braid. This is a 7-foot heavy action carbon light. Good frog rod, to be honest with you. Caught a lot of fish on it, and for being, you know, a $150 setup, you can get, you know, each one, the rod and the reel is $100, but you can get these actually for $150 if you make it a combo at Bass Pro, which is a cool deal. So for being that cheap, it definitely gets the job done. Okay, next up is the only ducket that I'm using right now. I do have a 6.9 spinning rod that I am not using. If you're interested in any of my rods, you can go ahead and email me or comment, but go ahead and email me, and I'm looking to sell some rods that I'm not using. But this is a ducket 7-foot medium heavy Micro Magic. This is the older Micro Magic, not the one that they currently make anymore. And on that I got a 6-4-1 Fluger Supreme XT, and this has 15-pound fluoro. It's just a really good, lighter Texas rig or light jig rod for me. Okay, next up is my newest reel. Haven't actually been buying reels at all lately. I've basically just been using the reels that I've had for a while. But this is my newer reel. This is a 7:2:1 gear ratio Shimano Sitka. This is a awesome reel, and it's only 130 bucks, I think. It's a really, cheap reel, but it feels really good. It feels like most $200 reels that I've used. Got that paired on a Powell 714 Endurance. This is 7.1 heavy action, and I use 20-pound line. This is my big jig rod, flipping rod, stuff like that. Next up is growing quickly one of my favorite setups. This is a Falcon Buku, and this is the 7-foot medium action moderate. This is an awesome rod. Great for little square bills, little rattle traps, and what I've been really liking it lately for with the cold weather is throwing the blade bait on it. But it's a really light action rod and reel setup, and it's really good for throwing those finesse baits, little jerk baits as well and stuff like that. I got 10-pound fluorocarbon on there right now, and this is a Shimano Chronarch 200E6. I'm actually thinking about buying the 50E, and that would be even better throwing it on that really light action rod. Okay, next up is just a beater. Some of my, cheaper rods are just the beaters for me. As you can see, this one's muddy, actually. This is what I take to, like, ponds and stuff like that. But this is still an awesome setup. It's a Falcon Jason Christie, and I believe, what action is this? I'm honestly not even sure. It's a 7.3 heavy action, so it's like a worm and jig rod. So basically, this is just a good utility rod. I'll use whatever on here, that I have to use for baits that I have to, like, set the hook really good. So like right now I got a tube on there. I'll use jigs, I'll use Texas rigs, stuff like that. I'm generally gonna have 17-pound fluorocarbon. I got a Fluger on that as well. Next up is my Trooper. This is the old Johnny Morris Carbon Light. This is actually, I think, a $100 reel, or maybe 120 or something like this back in the day when they used to make these. But for some reason, they say this is the same reel pretty much as the Pro Qualifiers that they make now. But to be honest, this reel is amazing. I mean, if they still made these, I guarantee I'd have a lot of these things. This is probably one of my favorite reels I own, just because it's been with me for a while, and it's honestly feels so good. It still feels like the day I bought it. I don't know, maybe I just got a really good one or something, but this reel is definitely awesome. It's my jerkbait setup. I got it paired on an older Johnny Morris Signature Series. This is 6.8, and it's a medium action, really good for jerkbaits. That's pretty much all I use it for. Occasionally I may use it for a crankbait or something like that, but primarily my jerkbait rod. Got it paired with 10-pound test fluorocarbon. Okay, second to last is another reel that has been with me for a while. This reel's been on so many different rods. Right now, she's sitting on a Falcon Buku. This is a 7-foot, medium heavy, fast tip. This is a great rod. I use it for spinnerbaits. It's kind of just another utility rod, but primarily it's my spinnerbait rod. I will use chatterbaits on here. Texas rigs work as well. Just another utility rod. Like I said, this is the Generation 2 Revo. This is another older reel that I wish they still made, but they don't make these anymore. They make the newer ones, but to be honest with you, I don't like the newer Garcias as I do the older generations. But nevertheless, it's a solid setup and probably another one of my favorite ones. And last but not least, this is another one of my favorites. I don't know why, but at the end, this was not planned, but I had all my older favorite setups at the end. This is the very beginning. As you can tell, the Powell is kind of faded, the purple is. I don't exactly know how old this is, but I think it's 5 or 6 years old. This is my first Powell I ever bought. This is a Powell Endurance 723. This is before they actually changed the paint, before they got rid of them, and that might be why this purple is a little lighter, and the fact that it's old. But this is on an old Shimano Chronarch 200E7, and this reel still feels good for being 5 or 6 years old. It doesn't feel like my newer Chronarchs, even though Chronarchs are now discontinued, but my newer ones feel a little bit better. But still, nevertheless, the reels that feel the best, honestly, aren't even my favorites. The ones that's been with me the longest, that have the most memories on them. I have a lot of good memories on this rod, and let's just hope it doesn't break anytime soon. I don't want to jinx myself. I probably shouldn't have said that. But like I said, 723 Powell, 17-pound test. just another utility rod. My 723s are really good rods for that. Most of the time I'm using them for like light flipping, Texas rigs, jigs, and stuff like that. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I know a lot of you guys love these type of videos. Maybe I'll try to start doing these, you know, every few months once my arsenals update, but to be honest with you, they don't update that often. I've just been, you know, using the reels that I've had for a few years now. So thank you guys again for watching. Please subscribe guys, like the video, share it with your buddies. Until next time, peace out.